Hey everyone, welcome back to Corrupt Cops Who've Crossed the Line. I put in a little virtual background there for all you subscribers who are up north and starting to get into the cold weather. It's a little distracting, so I'm actually going to remove it. Let me see here. Settings, background, none. How's that? Better, everyone? All right, I'm out here in my cigar room. Again, welcome back to Corrupt Cops Who Crossed the Line, 75. Please hit the subscription button and also notification bell. You'll know when new videos are coming out. I have a Q&A at the end. It's about missed money. Somebody wanted to know about missed money. I've told a few stories about missed money, so this is another one. And we got, I'm going to give a little plugs here. One is for Adam Cigars. Everybody's asking about Adam Cigars. This is the box, Adam Cigars. It's 21 cigars in this. Check with Adam on how to purchase them. I do not have anything really to do with them, but I keep getting questioned about it. The other one is my book. Everyone knows about it. Christmas is coming up. Betrayal in Blue. Pick it up. Give it to somebody who hasn't read it yet, or pick it up for yourself. There's also going to be down in the description links to t-shirts and coffee mugs and things like that. Girls will pick up as Christmas gifts. Get your orders in now. All right, let's get to the first story. First story is California officer from Inglewood. His name was John Abel Baca. He's 45 years old. He's a 21-year veteran. He got himself into a mess of trouble, this guy. He had an informant working for him. He's actually a registered informant, not just somebody that, cops know on the street and don't register them. He actually registered this guy. And 5 years he's been registered. So I don't really know the order because there's multiple stories on the research I did. There is the informant he uses, and there's also a cooperating witness in this case. So there's 3 people altogether and the officer. So what happens is, and I don't know the order in which it happens, but this makes the most sense to me, so this is the way I'm going to give it to you. The informant that Officer Baca has is arrested. They do a raid on his house. They find a kilo of heroin. They find guns. They find a half a key of cocaine. Some of this was buried in his backyard. So maybe they dig up some more of his backyard. They'll find some more shit. Who knows? I'm sure there's cash somewhere, but no cash was mentioned. Maybe those cops took it. Who knows? Maybe he hit it real well. So he gets arrested, and Officer Baca goes to the arresting officers. I think it was a federal charge, and lets them know he's a informant that works for him. Can they let him out and he'll work off his charges? So they're not going for that. So now I don't know if that makes them open a case into Baca, but now there's a cooperating witness in the case that Baca gets arrested on. Baca gets arrested on narcotics charges. He made 2 transactions. One was for a kilo of coke that he was selling to this cooperating witness for $22,000. Now, a cooperating witness is usually somebody who is out there, and then they're doing, their dirty charges, and people get arrested together. So Baca and his cooperating witness were arrested the same time, same charges, and then this other person, he becomes a cooperating witness. So he's cutting a deal for himself. It wasn't like he was an informant out in the street. They got arrested together, and now he's making his best deal. So he cooperates in the case against Baca, and this is an ongoing case. Baca is facing 60 years in prison, and there's no bail. He's in jail. I think his next trial date, his next court date, not trial date, is sometime in December. I think December 11th or December 12th. So one of these transactions where he went to cooperate witness to sell this kilo of coke for $22,000. They were having a discussion about also heroin, and I'm assuming they got him on tape because this is in quotes in the research that I did. Sell it to them for 10. So they're talking about the heroin that he's going to sell afterwards. At this transaction, Baca was driving around in a Ferrari with no plates on it. So this is all, since he's a cooperating witness, this other guy, I'm assuming the federal authorities were there watching this whole transaction, or they had him wired. I don't know exactly, but they got him on tape. So he's probably going to be going away. I'm sure he'll try to make the best deal he can, so he doesn't get 60 years, whatever it is. What else was there on that? So that's basically it with that. The big thing he was driving a Ferrari too with no plates on it. So I mean, that's like, while he made the transaction, that's like begging to get pulled over and get caught, even if there wasn't a cooperating witness in the case and they weren't investigating. No plates on the car and you're driving a Ferrari. Regular cops that don't know you are pretty much likely to pull that car over. So I don't know what the fuck this guy's thinking. There's the second case now. Second case is also from California. It's from San Francisco. And these two veterans, Baca was a 21-year veteran. This guy, Sergeant Davin, Davin Cole, is a 27-year veteran. He was arrested for robbing a Rite Aid pharmacy. Apparently, back in 2010, Cole was bitten by a canine dog, and he went to doctors. Doctors prescribed pain meds for him. He apparently got hooked on them. I'm sure after now 11 years, he's not getting prescription pain meds. Maybe after 2 years, I don't know how long they kept him on it. It didn't say, but then he turned to illegally, filling his addiction. So at this point, I guess he couldn't find any on the street. He actually went to a pharmacy, a Rite Aid pharmacy, and demanded pain meds. So they caught him, and he was tackled, and he was arrested. So he's actually out right now on $57,000 bail, a bond. So he's out. Here's one of the mugs, coffee mugs, you guys could pick up for Christmas for someone. Welcome to the land of F with the map of the 7-5. All right. So those are the two stories. There was actually a lot of stories, but those are the two I picked to share with you guys. So my Q&A. I've talked about this prior to, not this particular story, but this particular Q&A where my partner and I were out in the streets and we've come across money and we missed it for whatever reason. I've told 2 or 3 stories about that. So here's another one, and this was a big number. We're working, I believe, I'm not sure if it was early on, it was probably early on 4 to 12 because we didn't do many day tours. So call comes over for an accident. We're not particularly listening for accident calls when you're out looking for money and drugs, listening for shots fired, someone actually shot, robberies, things like that, because then it very likely could have been a drug robbery or things like that. There might be cash left on the scene, drugs, things like that. So this comes over for a call for an accident. And it was on, I believe it was on the corner of Pennsylvania and Pitkin, right in the middle of the intersection. So I remember driving by the scene, but there were already cops on the scene. So this was, probably maybe 10 minutes after the call came over, and it was given to another sector. And we drove by the scene, and there was really nothing going on. There was nobody in either vehicle. So we just drove by, make sure there was no need for our assistance, and we went on our way. Call comes over the radio, probably, I'm just guessing because this is many, many years ago, 20 minutes, half hour later, not sure exactly when. The two officers that responded to the accident, the car accident, came across some money, and they're going into the precinct to voucher it. So, and I don't know how we heard it. I don't know if we heard it over the radio or it started becoming a talk amongst the other officers. These two female officers came across this accident, or it was dispatched in one of the two, and it was in the trunk of one of the cars, big cardboard box filled with cash. Turned out it was $250,000, give or take. So that started feeding the rumor mill. What happened was, it was some drug dealer, don't know who it was transporting his money, and two stick-up men who robbed drug dealers, could have been Franklin and Coke, I don't know who exactly it was, ran the car to try to get the money and stick this guy up. Never came over shots fired or anything like that. It was just an accident. And then I guess they fled in different directions. Patrol car came across the scene. They vouched them, took the box of cash to the precinct to vouch for money. So we went to the precinct, and I think that's where we heard it. I don't think it came over the radio that officer so-and-so was upstairs with a big box of money up in they were in PDU, the detective unit. So we go upstairs, and sure enough, there was a big cardboard box, and they're out there vouching the money. So again, like if you remember from the 7.5, to vouch your money, you have to stamp the bill, you have to write your initials on the bill. So imagine a big box of cardboard money, how much there was to do for that. My partner and I, we were pretty much watering at the mouth, salivate over how much money. It was like, we could have came across that job and walked away with that. Nobody would have been the wiser, we would have took the money and dropped it off probably at Barron's and picked it up at the end of the day. What happened was, the guy who supposedly owned the money actually came to the precinct later on with a lawyer and tried to claim that that was his money from a plumbing business that he owned. So any of you drug dealers out there that might still be alive that remember that, hit me up, man. I'd love to interview you on that. I don't know if this particular drug dealer is still alive, or he's away and we never hear this, or he's out and reformed his life. Don't want to talk about it. But I would love to talk to the actual guy. I mean, obviously we know he didn't have a plumbing business. And even if he did have a plumbing business, no one's going to have $250,000 cash, undeclared cash, in the trunk of your car. So that was that. My partner and I missed that, and we could have had a big payday, but we missed it. We didn't respond to a call for an accident. If it would have been a call for shots fired, we would have been there first, and we would have walked away with that score. All right, so that's our stories for today. Please give a thumbs up to this video. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. Hit the notification bell. You'll know when new videos are coming back out. Thank you so much for coming by.